WWE just crossed a line they can't come back from. And I'm not even joking when I say this might be the most disrespectful thing they've done to a returning superstar in years. Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE, the woman who carried the women's division on her back, the former champion who's been out with an injury for months, finally makes her return to SmackDown. And what does WWE have her do? Attack Jade Cargill backstage like some common thug in a parking lot brawl. Not in the ring. Not during a promo. Not in front of the live crowd who's been waiting to see her. Backstage. On a random hallway camera. Are you kidding me right now? This is Bianca Belair we're talking about, not some random NXT call-up. And if you're not absolutely furious about how they botched this return, then you haven't been paying attention to what Bianca has done for this company. Sound off in the comments right now because this disrespect is unacceptable. Let me break down exactly what happened on SmackDown, and trust me, the more details I give you, the worse this gets. The show's been going for about an hour. We've had some decent matches, nothing spectacular, and then we get a backstage segment with Jade Cargill. Now, Jade's been on an absolute tear since she came to WWE from AEW. She's undefeated, she's dominant, she's been destroying everyone in her path, and she's been cutting promos about how she's the most powerful woman in WWE history. Fine, that's her character. That's what she does. She looks like $1 million. She wrestles like a powerhouse. In this particular segment, has Jade's talking to someone, I think it was Byron Saxton or one of the backstage interviewers, and she's running through her usual lines about being that girl and how no one in the locker room can touch her. She's talking about how she's cleaned out the entire division, how she's beaten everyone worth beating, and how she's ready for whatever challenge comes next. Standard heel promo stuff, right? Nothing groundbreaking, but Jade sells it with confidence. The crowd's reacting, people are invested, and then out of nowhere, wham. Bianca Belair comes flying into the frame and absolutely demolishes Jade Cargill. I'm talking a full-on assault. She's throwing punches, slamming Jade into equipment cases, whipping her with the iconic braid, and just unleashing months of pent-up aggression. The camera's shaking. People are screaming. Referees and security are trying to pull them apart, and it's absolute chaos. In terms of pure intensity, it's actually a great moment. Bianca looks like she means business. She looks angry, motivated, and ready to reclaim her spot at the top of the division. But here's the problem, and this is where I need you to really understand what WWE fumbled here. This is Bianca Belair's return. This is supposed to be a moment. This is supposed to be something fans remember years from now. Think about the great returns in wrestling history. Think about when those are the kinds of returns that create legendary clips in the middle of the shared ring. Millions of times. Think about when The Rock returned and gave WWE had the chance to give Bianca that moment. Think about when John Cena came back, they had the chance to have her music hit and the place exploded. Walk down that ramp to a thunderous ovation, get in the ring, and either cut a promo or immediately challenge Jade face to face. That's how you do a return for someone of Bianca's caliber. Instead, we get a backstage brawl that lasts maybe 90 seconds before security breaks it up. No entrance music. No crowd reaction shot. No moment for Bianca to soak in the fact that she's back. Just violence in a hallway that could have been filmed during literally any episode of SmackDown. Do you know how insulting that is? Bianca Belair is a former Raw Women's Champion, former SmackDown Women's Champion. She's main event WrestleMania. She's been on magazine covers. She's done media tours representing WWE. She's not just another wrestler. She's a cornerstone of the women's division. And this is how they bring her back. Let me ask you this, and I really want answers in the comments. Can you name another top star in WWE history who returned from injury with a backstage attack instead of a proper in-ring moment? I'll wait, because I'm struggling to think of any. Even mid-card guys get better returns than this. Even people who weren't injured and were just off TV for a few weeks get better homecomings than what Bianca got. This wasn't a return, this was an ambush angle, and those are two completely different things. Now, let's talk about what this does to Jade Cargill, because this isn't just about Bianca. So having her get jumped backstage and beaten down, even though it's technically a sneak attack, it still makes her look vulnerable. She's been protected like Fort Knox. It makes her look like she can't handle Bianca. WWE has been very careful about how they book her because they know maybe that's the story they want to tell. She's got mainstream appeal. Maybe they want to show that Bianca is on another level. But if that's the case, why not do it in the ring where it matters? The segment ends with both women being separated, Jade's holding her back looking hurt, Bianca's being restrained by security but she's screaming at Jade, and then we just move on to the next segment. No follow-up. No GM coming out to make a match. No Jade demanding a fight right now. Nothing. It's treated like any other backstage brawl, and that's the problem. This should have been treated like the biggest deal on SmackDown. This should have been the headline. This should have been the thing that Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis or whoever's running SmackDown comes out and says, okay, we need to address this immediately. But instead, it's just another segment in a 2-hour show. What makes this even more frustrating is that we know WWE knows how to do big returns. They literally just did it with CM Punk last year. They've done it with Cody Rhodes multiple times. They did it with The Rock. They understand the formula. Music hits, crowd goes crazy, star comes out, either talks or fights, everyone goes home happy. It's not complicated. It's Wrestling 101. So why did they decide to do something completely different? Here's another question for you guys. Was it a time issue? Do you think Bianca should have returned as a heel and need to cut her entrance? Because based on this creative decision to make her seem more aggressive and unhinged? Because if it's the latter, there are ways to do that while still giving her a proper return moment. Bianca's always been a face, one of the top baby faces in the company, but attacking someone from behind isn't exactly heroic behavior. So what's the story here? Is Bianca supposed to be the good guy who's so angry about being sidelined that she's willing to do whatever it takes to get her spot back? Or is WWE actually turning her heel? Because if they are, that's a huge decision that should be handled with way more care than a random backstage beatdown. Let me tell you what I think is really going on here, and this is going to make you even angrier. I think WWE doesn't know what they're doing with their women's division right now. I think they have all this incredible talent: Bianca, Jade, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte if she comes back, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, and they don't have a clear plan for how to use them all effectively. So they're just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. They're creating moments without thinking about the long-term story. They're having people attack each other backstage because it creates a quick viral clip, but they're not considering what that does to the characters or the feuds or the overall narrative of the brand. Think about what Bianca has been through in the last year. She lost the Raw Women's Championship, got moved to SmackDown in the draft, had some good matches but never really got back to the top of the card, then got injured right when it seemed like she might be building momentum again. We invest time, she's been gone for months, and emotion, rehabbing, working her way back. We buy the tickets, probably training harder than ever to come back better than Network. We buy the merchandise, and her reward we engage for all that hard work and dedication. We're the reason WWE is as successful as it is. And in return, we're asking for basic storytelling competence. We're asking for returns that feel special. We're asking for feuds that make sense. We're asking for characters to be treated with respect. Is that really too much to ask? Because it doesn't feel like it should be. You know what the worst part is? This could have been so easy to fix. You want Bianca to attack Jade? Fine. Have Jade in the ring cutting her promo about being unstoppable. Have Bianca's music hit. Have the place explode with cheers because the EST is back. Have Bianca walk down that ramp with purpose, looking like she's ready for war. Have Jade look concerned for the first time in her WWE run because she knows what's coming. Have them stare each other down in the ring, and then have Bianca attack. Same violence, same intensity, same message that Bianca is back and she's coming for Jade. But now it's a moment. Now it's something people will talk about forever. Now it's worthy of Bianca Belair's return. See how simple that is? The SmackDown after this happens, and I watched it to see if they'd try to fix this mess. And guess what? They barely referenced it. They showed a quick replay. Michael Cole said something like, Bianca Belair made a shocking return last week. And then they moved on. No big sit-down interview with Bianca explaining why she did it. No promo from Jade demanding revenge. No real follow-up at all. It's like WWE created this moment just to create stipulations without thinking about what comes next. Because here's what I think WWE is going to do. That's bad. They're going to have them fight on SmackDown. That's not how you build stars or feuds. Jade will probably win to get her heat back. Let me ask you another question. And then they'll do rematches for a month or two until everyone's bored. Should they have a match immediately? The WWE formula. Should they build to it over several weeks? No real build, no real stakes. Just the same match over and over with minor variations. And Bianca and Jade both deserve better than that. Think about the feud these two could have if it was booked properly. You've got Bianca, the veteran, the proven champion, the woman who's done it all and has nothing left to prove except that she's still the best. Then you've got Jade, the newcomer who came from AEW with all this hype, who's been undefeated, who represents the new generation taking over. That's a money feud. That's old guard versus new blood. That's respect versus arrogance. That's someone who earned their spot the hard way versus someone who came in as a ready-made star. The story writes itself. You could do months of promos, confrontations, and matches building to a big showdown at a major pay-per-view. But instead, we got a backstage brawl in week 1, and now where do you go from there? Here's what really grinds my gears about modern WWE booking. They're so obsessed with creating viral moments that they forget about creating meaningful storytelling. They want the clip that's going to get shared on Twitter and Instagram, so they have someone return by attacking someone else backstage because that's shocking and gets people talking. The reactions to Bianca's return about something doesn't mean people are satisfied. You've got some people who are just happy to see her back and don't care about the details. Sometimes people are talking because they're confused or disappointed. But you've also got a lot of people, myself included, who are seen on social media. That's it? That's how you bring back one of your top women's stars. And those people have a point. We're not being overly critical. We're not being impossible to please. We're just asking for the same level of care and attention that other top stars get when they return. Compare this to when Roman Reigns returned from his leukemia battle. His music hit, the place went absolutely nuclear. He walked down that ramp soaking in every second of love from the crowd. He got in the ring, gave an emotional promo, and it was perfect. That's how you do a return. Or look at Edge coming back from retirement. Royal Rumble, huge surprise, emotional moment, instant classic. These are the standards WWE has set for themselves. So when they fall short of those standards with someone like Bianca, we have every right to call them out on it. Now, I want to be fair to WWE for a second. Maybe there were circumstances we don't know about. Maybe Bianca wasn't medically cleared to take bumps in the ring yet, so they could only do a backstage segment. Maybe there was a time constraint on the show. Maybe this is part of a bigger story that we'll understand in a few weeks. What about you guys? I'm willing to give them the benefit. Would you rather have a big in-ring return with fanfare? But even if all of that is true, the execution still could have been unexpected. You can do a backstage return in the minority here because from what I've seen online, most people agree with me, but maybe there's a silent majority who loved it. Drop your thoughts below because I want to have this conversation. Here's what should happen going forward if WWE wants to salvage this. First, give Bianca a proper moment on SmackDown. Have her come out to the ring, cut a promo explaining exactly why she attacked Jade, what her intentions are, and what she wants to accomplish now that she's back. Let her remind everyone why she's the EST. Let her show the charisma and personality that made her a star in the first place. Second, build the feud properly. Don't just throw them in a match next week. Let them have confrontations. Let them have a contract signing. Let them build heat. Make people want to see them fight rather than just expecting it. Third, give them time when they do fight. Not a 7-minute SmackDown match with commercial breaks. Give them 20 minutes on a pay-per-view with no interruptions to show what they can really do. That's how you create a star-making feud. The talent is there. Both Bianca and Jade can go in the ring. Both of them can cut promos. Both of them have presence and charisma. The foundation for something great exists. WWE just needs to actually plan it out instead of winging it week to week. And if they can't do that, if they're just going to keep throwing together random segments and hoping for the best, then what's the point? Why should we as fans share our time and energy? I need you to make some noise because this kind of lazy booking shouldn't be acceptable. Let me ask one more question before I wrap this up. Sacrifice. Do you think Bianca Belair is being underutilized and to be treated like interchangeable pieces on a board? She's one of the most talented women on the entire. Jade deserves better. We as fans deserve better. And until WWE consistently delivers on the potential they have, we need to keep holding them accountable.